Welcome back to WeBuyAnyMotorcaravan.com. Today we have got this lovely Bailey Autograph 79-4 and it is the I model, which means the island bed rather than the T, which is the twin bed model. As you can see, it's built on the white, which they've now phased out for 2020, Peugeot Boxer 2-litre HDI engine with 160 brake horsepower. Now as we move down the sides, we can see it's got lovely alloy wheels. Above we've got an LED strip light for above the habitation door, as well as a nice full length awning, and there's a TV aerial on top. Now we've got a security arm bar by Fiamma on the side, simply putting the key in the side to lock it into place for when you've got that door closed. Pull the lever down and it just folds in like that. Next up we've got the LPG gas locker, which fits 2 gas bottles in. So to take these out, you turn the knob in the closed position. You've then got your spanner which goes over the bolt, and you turn it left to tighten and right to loosen up. So not lefty loosey righty tighty, it's the complete opposite way around. And that's as far as that goes really. Next to the gas locker then, on the left hand side we have got the TV point. So we've got a nice UK spec plug there with a TV aerial just below. And then next up we have got the gas point for the barbecue, so it feeds straight off these gas canisters without having a separate fuel supply for it. We've then got the Dometic vents for the fridge and oven. And then we are into this nice full width garage. And as you can see in the garage, you've got plenty of space. You've got the awning winder, electric hookup. The whale plug is normally stored in here, which we'll get to in a second. And then there's a 240-volt socket just on the left-hand side. And we've also, as you can see, on the bars that go around, that is your Aldi wet heating system, which again we'll get through to shortly. Okay, so on the rear of the vehicle we have reversing camera which displays in the cab itself, and then we've got a 2-bike bike rack by Fiamma. Lift this arm up, that just keeps the bottom rail in place, and then you've got 2 channels for the bikes, and then you've got these straps here which come out, you put over your over the bottom of your wheel, and that secures it in place. And then you've got these which fold down and again grab the frame at the top. Okay, so on the driver's side of this vehicle we haven't got too much to say about. At the bottom left hand corner you can see the Truma exhaust. Next up we have the cassette toilet, which simply opens up. You pull this orange lever up, and then it pulls out. So this does extend out when you want to drag it to the disposal place. You turn the orange nozzle around, unscrew, and get rid of the waste. You want to put your chemicals in there or tablets just to keep it nice and fresh and clean, and then just put about ½ litre of water in, just so you've got some fluid in there just to go with. Next up, and we've got 2 attachments here. We'll start with the hookup lead. Lift the cap up, lift the lid up on this, and that just plugs in straight for your electric. And then after that we have got the whale socket is the best way to put it. So this is for your water inlet. Again, lift the cap up, you can see the hose goes in there, clicks into place, and then once you turn the water in, it will fill up those tanks. Okay, so empty both of the tanks, well, one when they're full up and 2 for winterisation. You've got the grey one here, which is your waste. All you need to do, turn that and it'll open it up, and if there's any waste water in there, it will just dump it out. Yeah. Okay, so to empty the fresh water tank, again, mainly for winterisation or just for when you're on the road so you don't exceed the payload, you've got a blue switch there, and if you turn it out you can see it's starting to come out. Simple as that. Inside the habitation door itself we do have this fly screen. It will just keep those flies out, mosquitoes and everything like that, but it will also let the air go through the van. We've also got a nice bin on the door, and then just above we have a blind just to shut out the light at night. Okay, so in this Bailey Autograph 79-4i, we do have this lovely big double island bed. If I just lift up the mattress, you can see this handle here. If you pull that up, it will slide up and down depending on whether you want to go to sleep at night or if you want to watch the TV, because you have got TV sockets just to the right of me. Also, we do have this door that does slide across to separate the bedroom, and then just secures with the button press, just like that. Okay, so the kitchen itself, up on top we have the Russell Hobbs microwave, which obviously has to run on the hookup power. Below then, now this is a bit difficult to see because of the space in the kitchen area with the camera, we do have a Dometic 3-way fridge. This is dead simple. When it's pointing towards the top, it's off. Next along is electric hookup. After that you have got the vehicle battery. This is only for when driving, because the fridge does draw quite a bit of power, so you need the alternator at the front to be going. And then to put it onto gas, again switch it towards the bottom. You've then got this on the right, this little dial, the igniter, and you push this in, and as it ignites you'll see the red go straight into the green to indicate that the fridge is lit and is on. Okay, so next up is the kitchen itself, and we'll start with the gas appliances. Well, gas and electric. So we've got a 3-hob burner, and we've also got the hot plate, electric hot plate. So simply turn 1 to 6 depending on how warm you want it, and that gets hot very quick. Turn that back down to 0. Then you've got the bottom left, and the igniter switch is on the oven. So if I turn that one on, that's 1 going. 2 is the bottom right on my angle, and then you've got the 3rd, which is that one there as well, and they're all running absolutely beautifully. Okay, so next up we have the Thetford oven and grill. So we'll pull the oven door open, and then we've got a dial at the top right. So you face it towards the top right for the grill, and as you can see, that then lights up. And then for the oven, the same, but in the opposite direction. Push it down, set the igniter, and as you can see, the burners are lit at the back. Okay, and then to finish off in the kitchen, we have the sink. Basically, if you want to get that hot water warm after having it winterized, you turn the tap to the left, pull the water through into the boiler. Now this is ready to go, and if that is very warm, that is very, very warm. Yeah, just open up the taps when you want to winterize it again. Open all the drains outside, and that will make sure none of the pipes get frozen and burst. Next up, we've got this nice little table extension there. Fits into place, and then just pull the lever underneath, which makes it snap back down again. If you do that on both sides, it's a bit fiddly, but it just sits back down into place. The drawers, push button, and they open up. We have got a sink cover and chopping board, which does place straight over the sink itself, and then it's nice soft touch close all the way through. Okay, so next up we have the control panel for the Bailey. On and off switch, return switch, water pump switch just turns the water pump on and off. You need that for the toilet and the flush as well, do not forget. Internal lights and awning light. Now up and down goes through the menu. That shows you the water level for the freshwater tank, the water level for the wastewater tank. When you plug the whale connector in to fill the tank, if you press the enter button and it draws the water out. External temperature settings, which you can set the contrast, sound, you know, the beeping, battery voltage, standby, water low alarm, water high, wastewater high alarm, 230 volt when you've lost connection, when the amps are high, vehicle battery, leisure battery are low, fuse alarm, auto battery select, and shut down now. And we just don't want that right now, so we'll just go back. So yeah, so go through all the temperatures. Internal temperature, and that's to select the leisure or vehicle battery. That's the leisure battery amps, it's currently plugged in. We've then got the leisure battery voltage, which is currently at 14.3, and then back to the clock. The Aldi 3020 HE heating system, which means high efficiency. Quite a simple system. I personally absolutely love the Aldi heating. It's the wet heating, so it's the radiators, so it's just like being at home. Start off, we have the temperature gauge. That's for inside the van itself. You can really set that to whatever you want by the half degrees. Below is how you want the water temperature setting for the shower, so that's all the way on the on position. The next one is the heating system. So 1 kilowatt if you haven't got much power, 2 kilowatt tends to do it quite nicely, and 3 if you really want to push it. And then if you want to run it on gas, if you're off grid, just press that green that until it goes green at the bottom. We've then got the A function, which means activated functions, which we'll go back to through another menu. We've then got the settings cog at the bottom right hand corner of the screen. First of all, we have the night mode setting. So if you want it a bit cooler at night, you set the temperature somewhere down at like 15 degrees, 16 degrees is nice, and then the start and stop time. So that will turn the temperature down between 10 and 6 in the morning. Next one across is the day mode. Same sort of thing, so if you want it a bit higher, it's a bit like if you've got a hive heating system or something like that at home. Set the temperature, set the time, and then it will come on at those certain times. Prio, that is to select which fuel source you want it to prioritise. So currently it's set to electric, because if you're plugged in, you might as well use electric instead of gas. Next is the brightness of the display. I like it nice and bright, so number 2. And you can also have different settings, dark settings and so on as well. Bottom right hand corner, you have the time and day. That is the clock, so that's the time. It's 11 minutes past 4 in the afternoon, and it is Monday. And if you press show at the bottom, it shows it constantly on the home screen when you're not operating with it. If we go down a channel, these aren't ones that are applicable to this van, but can be, you know, it's like heated gas tanks and so on. It tends to be on the more German models. Okay, so first we've got the temperature offset. So this dial is right at the top of the vehicle, the top of the motorhome. If your thermometer is saying down below it's just a little bit warmer or colder, you want to change that a degree or 2 down, just so it all levels up. Next across, high altitude mode. So if you're above 1,000 meters, it will adjust for that. That's to turn the beeping on and off when it's on green. Egg timer is a delayed start, so if there's a certain time that you want to get it turned on once you've left, set the timer for that. And then that's your pump settings for continuous. Last menu, I think, is reset, language, service, installed accessories. So what it has got on the van, you can tick or untick if you've got a third party, optional pump, load monitor, all those little bits. The overhead cupboards, don't try and pull them, simply push in and they'll come up. And there you also have the controls for the solar panel, which is on the roof, which is charging, which is a dual battery charger basically. Just below that overhead locker, we do have on both sides and in the rear Pioneer sound system, which hooks up to the cab radio player. We then have the windows. Now these are Remis blinds, so this is the fly screen, so push that there and you just push it all the way to the top into place just to keep those bugs out. And then if you want to push the blind up, again just push straight from the bottom. The catchers themselves, all you need to do, just pull up and then they can lock into this first one or the second one if you just want to get a little bit of air flowing through the motorhome. Right, now we are in the bathroom itself. We have this nice slightly separate shower compartment. As you can see on the right hand side, we do have the hot and cold mixer tap for the shower. Same as any straightforward shower really. Got two nice circular LED lights on top, and then in this corner here we do have, if you unlock to the left or lock to the right, a line that goes across for your wet clothes. Not something you really see, but it's really handy actually. Okay, next up we have a storage cupboard and a space for your cup in there as well. We've then got the sink with mixer tap. Again, when you're winterising, just make sure you leave all the taps open and it will just pull all that water out so you don't have any cracked pipes. And then to finish off with the Thetford cassette toilets, you've got the blue button on top. Make sure your water pump is on and that will flush the toilet. And then just below you have the grey slide that opens up and closes the hatch to let whatever's in the toilet back out again. Okay, so next up we have the table. To get the tabletop off, if you just lift it straight up, and it will come. Now something I really do want to show you because this is quite important, and I'll show you on this one here. If you twist it, it has got open and close on it, but it's just so you make sure you know what you're doing. And you can see the three bits that slot in and then just fix into place just like that, so they're nice and sturdy and secure. Okay, so next up we have this double bed at the front. It is a 4-berth as well as the 4 belted seats. So you've got 2 or 3 things that slide out. This is one. Just don't forget to undo these little metal catchers on the sides of the pull-outs. So that's one. You've also got another one under this cushion here which does exactly the same thing, and then you've got another one that goes into place there. Just below here, while we're here, we have got the fuse board at the bottom as well as the trip switches just above. Now as we go up, what we do now is pull this cushion down, which pulls the backrest into place. This one isn't needed, so we'll move that out of the way, and we'll move this one out of the way as well. If we turn that one round and grab the cushion from the opposite single bench seat, as you can see it's got the groove in, and there we have your nice big double bed. And if you really want to, you can take out these backrests as well, just for that extra space. It is a bit narrow, but plenty big enough for those extra 2 people. Now with the Aldi heating system just at the front lounge under the single bench seat, you do have 2 30-volt socket, and then you've also got the option with these, where these grates are here, to have a fan blowing out, or you can just let the heat rise straight from the radiator itself. Now we'll just show you the radiator in the kitchen area, and this is an example of one of them that are dotted around the motorhome itself. So it is a radiator just like at home. Okay, so in the rear wardrobe next to the rear bed, we do have the Aldi radiator system, and this is where you top up your fluid. It does have max and min. Obviously it needs to sit in between them, and just make sure you get the right stuff not for a new radiator, but for a used one, so to speak. Underneath the lounge area itself, it is a bit of a step up, and that's because there is a hidden door. This is where your battery box is held. Now you have got the space for 2 batteries if needed, and as you saw earlier on, that's where the solar panel charges the 2 batteries. Okay, so once the rear carpets are removed around the bed, you can also lift up the hatch, which shows a nice big storage locker to either side, or on the passenger side there's certainly a locker with the pipes. You've also got some drawers under the bed, and then onto the other side where we have the Aldi Compact 3020 tank. Okay, so part of winterising this motorhome, you've got the Aldi tank or water heater at the back. We have got this little yellow lever, which what we want to do when we're winterising the vehicle is lift that lever up, and that empties it out, as well as all the the fresh and waste water tanks as well. Just make sure you turn all the taps up so they're all letting it come out, and then you'll have it nicely drained, as well as letting the shower head down just so that drains out as well. Okay, so to finish off with the Peugeot cab, we're going to start with the far right hand side, which has the electric windows and mirror controls. The steering wheel itself, it has the phone controls on the right hand side and the volume and voice activation on the left. Right hand stalk is for the windscreen wipers, left hand stalk for the lights and indicators. Just below we also have cruise control with speed limiter function. We then have the 6-speed gearbox lever, and then as we move to the centre we have the sat nav and cab air conditioning. We've also got a couple of USB ports below. We've also got the traction control plus buttons just on the left hand side of the gear lever. We've got driver and passenger airbag, and then all the way around we have these cab blinds. Now these simply pinch in and they slide and lock into the place at the far side, same as the ones at the front and the other side. Okay, so I hope you liked this video and you've learnt everything that you need to know. If you do have any questions on this motorhome, or if you've got a motorhome that you want to see how it works, please get in touch just by commenting below, or give us a call on 01283 240 237. Hey, you made it to the end of the video. Please press subscribe at the bottom, or like if you're on our Facebook, and watch the latest news and motorhome reviews.
To find out more information, you can go on our website www.webuyanymotorcaravan.com. Telephone us on 01283 240 237.